I'm thirsty.
It's the choice of a new generation, and one robust new flavor with more bounce to the ounce. It's PEEPS Flavored Soda! The trademark cola taste will help you catch that Pepsi spirit, on top of which is the sweet, mallowy taste of everyone's favorite chickadee delight. Change the script. Nothing else is a Pepsi. Now, always in season!
There is a moral to today's episode, and that is, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. To let you all in on a little behind-the-scenes stuff, I ended up missing a lot of time in the year 2022, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't plotting. I was slowly putting together over the course of a year a game plan for the next 20 or so videos for 2023, an overarching narrative that had a beginning, a middle, and end, and a nice through line from episode to episode. Because I knew the direction to which I was headed, filming and editing these parts out of order wasn't a problem. Until it became one. You have no idea how often I went over the schedule, meticulously, repeatedly, like a damn mental patient. I obsessed over the order of things, and every day I checked it, it tested out A-okay. So wouldn't you know it, the time comes to finally start debuting these things, and right under my nose and beyond my understanding, a mistake magically appeared! At a point where it was too late to do anything about! You might have noticed that there are two episode 277s. We have the boiled peanut review and the Thanksgiving candy corn review. No big deal, right? So the numbering is off. Big whoop. Maybe you can look at them as companion episodes. Leave them up there as is. No harm, no foul, right? But it turns out, it's not quite that easy. The fact is, I must have noticed this earlier. And I must have forgotten that I noticed it! Because looking through the upcoming videos on the queue, I found a second Boiled Peanuts review, this one labeled as episode 285, where we are at right now. I must have re-edited the video, relabeled it, and like a moron, forgot that I went through all of that! So rather than have a gap in the numbering, I came up with this item, PEEPS Flavored Pepsi, which admittedly is Limbo Grub worthy, to fill the void of the missing episode 285. Which means, basically, what you are watching right now is filler. Creative spackle to fill up an unsightly hole. And I'm not comfortable with that! I'm about entertaining my viewers. I'm not out to just produce content. Content can be anything that's just a past time. What I do is important here. I don't believe in simply passing time. You know, there is something I could do. Something that a lot of other shows do that I had never intended on doing, but it might prove helpful to the channel. It was episode 274, the Eat the Change Mushroom Jerky review, where a viewer known as the Most Serious Duelist hit me up with this comment. Well, I need to go rewatch the last 200 plus videos because I'm lost on the lore again. While I welcome any new views that I can get, I understand that watching 200 videos of me sitting at this table and eating food could be a little daunting. So how's about I save you the trouble, Most Serious Duelist, and give a little refresher on all the important goings-on in Limbo Grub. Hey, it might be fun for me to go down memory lane too. I guess. I mean, retreading some of these memories is gonna be downright painful for me. But it needs to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, and anyone else, I give to you Limbo Grub, the story so far.
The YouTuber known as DJ Clive, his name taken from an old movie character named Clive Orville, came from humble beginnings. Originally, an avid movie maker intent on getting new eyes on his old projects, his mission statement changed to profiling characters from the popular anime Ranma 1/2. After profiling all the show's characters, big and small, DJ faced the unenviable task of profiling Ranma himself. Summing up the complex character turned out to be way too much information to cram into such a short window of time. As a result, the YouTuber found himself taking off into the sky, through Earth's atmosphere into space, and spontaneously combusting, putting an end to his 7-year YouTube tenure. DJ awoke in the misty shores of the ether, meeting with his old friend, the man upstairs, a formless voice booming down from the clouds above. He informed DJ his YouTube life had come to an end, but would be called upon once more in the event of Ranma 1/2's return. Rather than be granted entrance into heaven, DJ was to remain on call in the strange new world of Limbo. Limbo is a world identical to DJ Clive's real world, with a few key differences. DJ is largely the only person to exist there. Occasionally he will see other people, but is powerless to interact with them as they wander about like ghosts or reminders of his past life. This world stretches the limits of mortality, as he can survive tortures a normal human body could not, but by no means is he immortal. His body still succumbs to aging, sickness, and pain. He is free to travel wherever he likes. He still has access to fast food and other amenities. In his travels he has found 2 places of note. The Oracle of Eves, otherwise known as the Vortex Randomizer, accessible through a hole in the ceiling of his garage, is where all souls pass through on the way to heaven or hell. Also, though he hasn't seen it with his own eyes, DJ is aware there must exist, somewhere in Limbo, a doorway to get in and out. He learned this through the appearance of Mocha, an overly professional dachshund for hire. It was only after DJ realized Mocha had the ability to travel back and forth did he stop hearing from her, and this mystery portal was to remain just that, a mystery. While in solitary confinement, DJ is not alone. He cohabitates with his pets, the dachshund Squinkies, a snarky little know-it-all, Minpin Jello, the level-headed voice of reason, Minpin Creaky, a fully devoted naive little child, and later, Chihuahua Donut, an exceptionally rude loner, and bearded dragon Stumpy, a blunt antisocial rascal. In addition, DJ will get the occasional visit from Ostromouse, a goofball who can freely travel in between dimensions via Christmas magic, and at times he is called upon by his audio friends, there in voice but not in body. Balthazar Quail, his former boss, Stone Cold Steen Astin, a pro wrestler who was paid to do DJ's ad reads, and Bad News Bashamach, Steen Astin's nemesis turned friend to the show. DJ can keep up with the world as well as his connections from his past life via the internet, and if that is still not enough, DJ has other personalities he can confide in, a result of his psychosis. Being a reviewer, DJ devoted his afterlife to reviewing things, at first developing a show called Cartoon Limbo, in which he broke down all things animated, as the Vortex Randomizer could also be implemented to grab random DVDs and Blu-rays. Congruently, he started an eating show called Limbo Grub, after stumbling across a Trader Joe's juice that looked so gnarly, he thought it might be comedy gold to try it on camera. These 2 projects kept DJ busy as he awaited his call from the man upstairs. Eventually, the rules of YouTube would change. The better, for a lot of people, as it became a viable method to make money, even start a career. But as it became more and more commercial, DJ found his freedom slowly being ripped away. Many of his old projects were yanked from the service for copyright reasons, for both video and audio offenses. There seemed no rhyme or reason as to what was allowed on Cartoon Limbo. Every episode proved to be a gamble. So DJ had to put an end to his animated review show, leaving he to fall back solely on Limbo Grub. Over the years, DJ Clive became increasingly maddened by the state of YouTube, to the point where he simply snapped. He killed off his DJ Clive persona and adopted the identity of Hottie Scotty Pancake. Claiming he was tired of being a YouTube failure, he began shamelessly aping everyone else, trying to act cool, introducing sponsors, developing a strange fascination with a kazoo, shilling the viewers for money, even all out selling the show to the evil company Globodox. For years, the sickness worsened, and Hottie Scotty grew to be a hopeless, unlikable maniac, alienating his viewer base as well as his dogs. His dog Jello tried to talk some sense into him, even destroyed his prize kazoo to snap him out of it, only to be fired from the show for his efforts. In one final retaliatory effort, Jello gave Hottie Scotty the ultimatum to return to his DJ Clive persona, and when Hottie Scotty balked at the request, Jello leapt into the Vortex Randomizer, never to be seen again. Riddled with guilt and self-loathing, Hottie Scotty punished himself by driving his own head into a solid wall, temporarily putting he in a fugue state. In this altered state of mind, he created The Thing, a mysterious metallic orb left hovering in his garage. Its purpose? Unknown. Hottie Scotty would eventually regain his faculties, remembering nothing he did in the fugue. Going through viewer comments, he was rocked by the negative feedback to his actions. In a long-awaited moment of clarity, Hottie Scotty struck against the tyrannical rule of Globodox, once more donned his trademark Hawaiian shirt, and reclaimed his DJ Clive identity. The reborn DJ Clive resumed his show like he didn't miss a beat, back to wearing a new Hawaiian shirt every episode, and with a new lease on life. It wasn't long before he discovered The Thing in his garage, with no memory of ever building it. In a moment of panic, as DJ often does, he discarded the thing into the Vortex Randomizer, fearing it to have been an explosive device of some sort. This defensive act quelled the madness within DJ Clive, but still weighing heavy on his soul was the fate of Jello. Silently, he vowed to rescue his old friend from the Vortex Randomizer by any means necessary. He put on a happy face, but was full of such fear and anxiety. Fully in the throes of paranoia, DJ would find himself in a realm called the Beef Lodge, itself a mix of purgatory and a personal hell. Fortunately, as a construct of his own mind, the Beef Lodge provided DJ with a lot of pertinent information, albeit hidden in anagrams and riddles. He learned that the Thing was a vehicle which could have transported our heroes back to the real world, now lost to the Vortex Randomizer. He learned that whilst in his fugue state, he created and hid away one other secret project. And lastly, he learned of his own impending untimely end, that on the day he wears his last Hawaiian shirt, a shadowy figure will walk through the kitchen door and seal his fate. DJ remained stuck in the Beef Lodge with no clear path home, the time frame of which depended on whose point of view. For the YouTube viewer, DJ was missing for over a year. For the dogs, DJ was missing for 3 days. For DJ, he was missing roughly 1,000 lifetimes, as he had to rebuild his life, brick by brick, to use as a bridge to cross a swirling oblivion. Though it didn't exactly happen smoothly, DJ was able to return to Limbo, confusingly still late in the year 2021, forcing he to play catch-up with current day. Also notable, it was later discovered DJ had one more possibility to get out of Limbo, and that is with the help of fellow YouTuber The Classic Gamer, who holds a remote control that could be used in conjunction with DJ's screwdriver to teleport between worlds. The one time the two were in the same place, they attempted it, but DJ screwed up on his end, leaving he behind in Limbo while the gamer returned. Now worlds apart, it would seem hopeless for this option to ever resurface. One by one he wears his Hawaiian shirts and discards them forever. And on the day he wears that final shirt, the one that drips with hemoglobin, that will mark the day his kitchen door opens and DJ Clive's time runs out.
And there you have it, folks. We are now officially all caught up. Now, of course, a lot of other things happen here and there, stuff that I feel would be worth it to go back and see, but those were just all the very important details that you need to know going forward from here. So if you were lost on the lore of Limbo Grub going into this episode, you can thank the most serious duelist for this little trip down memory lane.
Thank
you, most serious duelist! Alright, enough of that. Well, look at that! PEPSI actually came up with an original idea! One that they didn't steal from me! Actually, in a roundabout way, I did invent this. Marshmallow Pepsi? That's something I said. I'm sure by the time this video shows up on YouTube, dozens, if not hundreds of other reviewers are going to cover this item. And I guarantee all those videos are going to use the same exact line. So, I may as well jump on the bandwagon, right? Why isn't it called PEEPSI? At the time I filmed this episode, it is March 2023. So does that mean that this is an Easter thing? I might sound like a dunce right now, but I'm pushing 50, I still have no idea when the hell Easter is! I guess I've just never paid enough attention. When the hell is Easter? Is it in March? Is it in April? Was it ever in May? I mean, I don't want to get into the specifics of what Easter is, but Aren't we celebrating a very specific thing that happened in history? So shouldn't we celebrate it on that day? It would make all the sense in the world. Sunday apparently is the holiest day of the week, so we gotta do it then, but I mean, Thanksgiving is the same way. Why do we celebrate that on a Thursday? Of all the days in the week, Thursday? Maybe these things happen pre-calendars? Like so long ago, we didn't keep track of the date on which they happened, so we're saying, oh, we're gonna celebrate it on Thursday or Sunday just to generalize? But that don't make sense either, because if it predates calendars, Thursday and Sunday didn't exist! And I'm sure a lot of people are looking at me with fangs in their faces saying, we like the placement of Thanksgiving. It gives us this nice little break from work. We have Thursday and then we have Black Friday. It's kind of like a tradition to celebrate that right after Thanksgiving dinner and then the weekend after that. But imagine how cool it would be to have Easter fall in the middle of the week. You get the day off from work and or school. Personally, I don't understand what all the hubbub is about Black Friday. I mean, yeah, it was something I always wanted to partake in when I was alive, but I thought stores were going extinct, weren't they? I mean, any other time of year, you want to stay away from the stores and do all your shopping online, but this one magical day, you're going to go out after you've already had Thanksgiving dinner and you're with your family, you're going to flat leave all of them just to get a good deal on a TV set? And to me, I don't want to be around people the minute after Thanksgiving dinner, they all got pants full of farts! Okay, I'm really far off the beaten path. PEEPS Pepsi. Let's take a sniffy sniff, I'll let you know what I think. Whew. Sugary powdery. It smells very strongly like a peep. And I should have expected that. But at the same time, I feel it a little worrisome because what is a peep? It's just an overabundance of sugar. I mean, that's what it smells like, that's what it tastes like. So basically, we're just gonna end up with a Pepsi where the sugar to soda ratio is off, like heavily off. I mean, it's gonna have some degree of marshmallow taste in there, but are you gonna notice it? Are you gonna notice it amidst that tidal wave of sugar that's just gonna bury it? Well, to be honest, Peeps aren't just all sugar. They do have a certain kind of burny, bitter taste to them that I hope is encapsulated in this soda. If not, it just shat the bed and it just completely defeated the purpose. So I'm gonna take a swig, I'll let you know what I think. You know, I find it kind of funny. I've said it in past episodes. Coca-Cola Dream World. There's a new Coca-Cola flavor out there called Move, if you've ever had that. I always say the same thing whenever I take my sips of those experimental flavors. I say they either taste like Peeps, or Smarties, or Pez. I always say one of those three things. It's got a hint of that taste in there. This is basically the same thing as those, only they're telling it to you straight. There's no mystery about what the flavor is. That's it. It's right there staring in your face. Peeps flavored soda. Personally, I like the way that Coke does it better. I mean, yeah, this is way more upfront, but Coca-Cola is way more poetic about it. They'll use words like dream world and stardust to lure you in because your mind, your brain is vexed on what you're looking at. You're like, what the hell kind of flavor could that be? It sounds delicious. They're using such an elaborate word to describe it. And they also put it in like an exotic looking bottle with like iridescent colors or colors that you would never see on a Coca-Cola bottle. This is just plain and kind of boring. Maybe the folks at Coca-Cola wanted to create Peeps flavored soda, but they couldn't, they were powerless to do so because Peeps was in Pepsi's wheelhouse. They didn't have access to it. And to just call it marshmallow chickadee flavored soda would just make them come across as second rate. It's like when you go to Party City and you want to dress up as Howard Stern, but there's no Howard Stern costume, it's just there as Shock Jock Wig. So they came up with these weird, exotic, foreign-sounding words to describe their sodas, and to me at least, their fallback plan ended up being superior to what Pepsi did. Listen to me, I've got a Pepsi product right in front of me, and I can't stop talking about Coca-Cola. What the hell? It just goes to show just how superior one is over the other. And if you like those products, chances are that you will like this one too. I mean, yeah, it is Pepsi, and I always will prefer Coke, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I hate Pepsi. If there's no Coke in the area, I will gladly accept a Pepsi, and I will inhale that Pepsi and ask no questions. And I gotta be fair, and this is gonna be a little bit insulting for the folks at Coca-Cola to hear, but I do prefer this over that Dream World Coke. The Dream World Coke, I mean, it had that cool label and it sucked you in, and sometimes that can disappoint. Sometimes your brain is like, got some kind of weird expectation that your taste buds cannot possibly live up to. This tastes a lot like the Dream World did, only a little bit stronger. I think that was part of the problem with the Dream World, that it had a very light taste that you barely noticed. If I were to give this a star rating, easy 3.5 stars. It's funny, but if you didn't put it in the yellow label, I almost wouldn't tell the difference between this and a normal Pepsi. I would just feel like it was a Pepsi that was sent down the assembly line and the ingredient balance was off. This product right here was made for those special, very elite, specific kind of people. Scratch that. I'm not finishing that thought. Because these people that I'm thinking of right now can only exist in here! There's no way there's anybody like this in the real living world! I was about to say, for specific people out there who think that cola is not sweet enough, their liquid sugar is not sweet enough, this product was made specifically for you! Who are these people? I want to know these people. If there was anybody out there within the sound of my voice watching this video, comment section down below. Somehow I want to reach out and shake your hand because I want to acknowledge your existence. Hey, buddy. Good to meet you. I'm DJ Clive. What's your name? What else isn't good enough for you? Is the sun not hot enough? Anyway, that's who I am. I'm DJ Clive, and I'll see you next time in Limbo.